Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. So guys, this is going to be part 3 of your weekly video from March 18th to the 24th. This is going to have Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. I apologize for not getting the rest of these out yesterday. My day is always crazy. Like nothing else would suffice. So this will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Always discern the messages, take what fits, do not force anything else to be something that is not for you. You know, as I was talking to the first half of the zodiac yesterday, I'm going to reiterate this to you all as well. We've got that full moon happening. We've got the Libra eclipse happening. We've got Mercury retrograde. We're in the pre-shadow phase right now. We've got, you know, the eclipse is happening on the 25th, the full moon on the 28th. There's a lot of energies, and, you know, typically I run these videos straight through for the weekly for you guys with the timestamps, and the timestamps will be in the comments section for these 3 signs. But there's so much going on that the videos and the time that it was taking to do the signs, I felt it as soon as I started reading. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to switch this up a little bit. So, you know, be very aware of your communication right now, too, with this pre-shadow to Mercury retrograde. There could be some misunderstandings. Timing is going to be of the essence with certain areas, and certain signs are going to feel this a little heavier than others. But just be aware. Be aware. There's a lot of shifts happening right now, guys, and it's just something to be very, very cognizant of, okay? So with that, we're going to start with Libra. We'll go from there, see what's going on this week, and yeah, that's that, right? Okay, so, all right, Libra, let's get started here. All right, Libra, I hope you're doing well. I know you guys have a lot going on. This eclipse is happening under your sign as you're sitting in the South Node right now. Those are karmic events. There's a lot of things that are happening. You know, we're getting into this eclipse season, leaving Taurus and Scorpios, eclipses. There's just a lot happening right now. Spirit is saying massive awakening for you, Libra, and we've talked about that in your videos and the monthlies and stuff like that too. So some of you could feel like you're experiencing some blockages as well. All right, let's dive in here. All right, for Libra, please, Spirit, March 18th through the 24th, what does Libra need to know, be aware of? For the sign of Libra, what is going on this week, Spirit? Self-trust and power. Libra, you could feel as if, again, talk about those shifts, and there's a power shift here with this power in Aquila. 24 is a 6, and 38 is an 11, self-trust. Libra, you know, I started your reading yesterday, and it didn't quite feel right to me, and I'm kind of getting this feeling again. To me, this might be like the mind playing tricks on you, is how this kind of comes through. It could be a denial of difficult situations, not wanting to see the big picture. With this eclipse happening, let's see. For Libra, please. Patience. You could be waiting on something right now. I kind of feel like you're moving with, you know, a goal in sight, okay? Your energy is almost blocked off. You could be waiting for justice. You're having confidence in something here, Libra. Gratitude. I'm going to say this. I feel like I am dealing with a different set of Libras than I typically have. Libra, talk about this catalyst energy. There's a morphing. It is a rebirth process that is happening with this Hydra, this change. It's a splitting of a dynamic when it comes to this change, the way that it's showing itself. Capricorn, gratitude. There's something, Libra, there could be finally something happening within for you as an end is starting to transpire here. They're talking about news For some of you, this could be around legalities. Your purpose, your power, your confidence is addressed in the sense of, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have, you know, maybe it's my way or whatever this is. What catches my attention about this is this stillness, this energy of just being still or barren or bold. I don't even say bold, but it's like you see her, she's unclothed, right? You've got this patience card. There's a period of waiting, of sitting, waiting for something to come to fruition. Consistency, you know, she's waiting, she's wishing upon a star, she's sitting with her loyal companion there. Some of you could be dog lovers as well, just a side note to that. As much as this is a compass that is on this Virgo card, you could be dealing with a Virgo. They're showing it to me in the form of a clock. Like, again, this waiting, trying to pick a direction. And Libra, I have to say this, like, you could have picked a direction recently, but it's going back in time somehow here. With this eclipse that's happening, this full moon that's happening, you could feel like you are being thrown back into a different time, space, reality, something to that effect. Because it's like this direction right now is frozen. So it's kind of like, you know, going through your day-to-day, just going and staying consistent in schedule or your job or your to-do list or whatever this is for you. It's funny because I feel you in it, feel you making progress in that, but yet there's a standstill kind of energy that is happening with this, the way this is coming in. So I'm gonna do a little bit of deep diving into these cards because I feel like there's something under, like, it's almost like the calm before the storm, Libra. It would be the best way that I know to put it. It's a calm before the storm because it's almost too, Spirit is saying too focused on the before of a particular situation. It won't stay this way, is really what I want to say to you. High Priestess of Earth and Grove. You could be trying to do better self-care, trying to ground your energy. And you could be in this energy of this groundedness. But again, like that cat, he's just kind of sitting there and waiting. There's something here about sitting and waiting, sitting and waiting. Let's see, Libra. What's coming up for Libra? The moon. There's, it's not coming, I'm going to be straight with you. It's not coming in super clear. But this moon energy, 50, it's a 5, it's change. You've got 2 5s here, Libra. And I'm going to tell you that once something is denied, I hate to be like the bearer of bad news, right? Like I hate to be that way, but this is what this is what's coming through. There's a shift here that's happening. Oh, another 5. 14 is a 5. 10 is an ending, new beginning, love energy. 2. I feel like you're trying to put your best foot forward this week. In whatever way or capacity you know how to. Your heart space for a long time has been locked, secured, put away, put it on a shelf for safekeeping. There's something here that is, whether you are denying yourself a right to something or somebody else is denying you of something. It's like 2 split energies of change that come together to complete a cycle is what this is showing me. This High Priestess of Fire, I said it's like looking back on the past or something, or the time before, or however I just said that to you. You take a look at her. She's looking back at things. There's a review process that is happening here, Libra. And the moon says, you know, there's something about the subconscious. There's something here about this calm, this peace, right? Those lavender fields are a calmness, right? They're representation of calm and stillness. But again, this moon, you've got this cat who's looking back on something. There is, reiterating here, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. There is an absolute review process that is occurring, whether this is behind the scenes. But I also feel like this has a lot to do. It's like very internal process, but yet there's a lot going on outside of you that you're not yet aware of. Okay, I hope that's making sense for you guys. I'm trying to explain this the way this is coming through, because it's almost like, I'm going to say this to you too. Some of you could be numbing. Whether this is via alcohol, TV, food, it's like a numbing of the emotions. There's not a whole lot of emotion that is being evoked from you. There's not a whole lot of feeling right now that is coming through. And it's, again, that space of stillness is like what is to come. And it's like not being able to see the forest for the trees right now, Libra. You're just kind of in this space of everything is just flatlined. Okay? I am going to clarify these cards. I haven't been doing that, but I do feel like it's necessary here, because the way that it's coming through is very plain. Very, very plain. You don't feel necessarily stagnant to me. It's like you're okay with where things are right now. But we know, if you read tarot, you do, this energy does not stick for long. It's a temporary thing, right? So let's see, what is this patience about for Libra, March 18th through the 24th? You know, I get this feeling, you're talking about that numbness, like there's no thought process right now. It's like you may have been in a place for a long time, Libra, where nothing maybe felt like it was going right or something like that. And now that certain things have been wrapped up, or you've put your heart on a shelf, there's just a sense of nothingness. Patience, the Nine of Wands. It's a struggle to wait right now on something. Mother of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. You could be feeling Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. That's crazy, because I always put my cards back in upright. You may feel like you don't have independence of the self here. Like someone else is holding that. Spirit is saying over your head is the perception of this. This consistency. Like you're, again, waiting. Maybe waiting for some sort of justice. You got the Magician and the Moon with consistency. The Spirit is saying a duality with the Magician and the Moon. You know, I've seen this for you guys. Temperance, healing, Two of Cups, Two of Wands. Some of you could be doing some healing work surrounding your relationships. There's a sense, though, that I get with this moon coming out twice now, that there's some kind of dishonesty, not digging deep enough into the motives, the reasoning for manifesting or working through something or trying to get something started. Talking about those pentacles, that's the one thing in this card of the Magician that this cheetah's got its paws on, is that pentacle. It's stability. It's trying to hold down that stability. That cup, that wand, that sword could float up at any time, but the one thing that it's like it's trying to hold on to is the stability of a way of being. I find that to be very interesting, because there's a sitting, a stillness. There's a desire here, Libra, to move on from something into calmer pastures. There's my least favorite card, I think. I think I despise this more than I do the Devil. Knight of Wands. It's like you're waiting to, it's like ready, you know, how do they say that? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Something like that, right? That's kind of what this is, and this confusion that comes in, this unknowing of the emotion, is like waiting for this to change up or to switch up somehow. I'm going to be honest with you, Libra. Like, I'm not trusting this calmness. There's something about this to me that screams not all is not what it seems. If I could talk this morning with cheese and crackers. All right, what is this moon? The Lovers and the Devil. Sitting underneath this, the Hangman. Somebody around you, there could be, I'm going to tell you, Libra, there could be at least 2 other situations in your life, and this doesn't have to be romantic or anything like that, even though the Lovers card is here, because the Lovers is about choice. What was beautiful, or this partnership that kind of came in, the reasons for it happening to me, it's like with the moon is, you think about this devil, we'll start there, that this devil's feet, they're on fire. To me, this is a reminder that someone here is gaining some other perspective around a situation. There's that deception. After a period of quietness, right? This introspection of the Hangman, this cloaking of the self. Either you or someone you're dealing with, could be Gemini, Capricorn energy, Virgo, it doesn't have to be. This says to me that either you or someone else, whatever words, promises, narratives, ideas that were given at some point, you're going to be tested. You know, it's like putting your feet to the fire and going, can you live up to this, is what I'm hearing. And for some of you, yes. For others of you, based upon this foundation, I don't know that I'm convinced. It's like, even with that devil, there's an idea of suspension that comes in with that. 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. Like, Libra, whatever is happening here right now, like, I wish I could give you better answers than I'm getting right now. But it's also like, this could be, Spirit is saying, a test of karma coming back through. Someone here is feeling that space of lack and betrayal. It's a trapped mindset. It's a numb mindset that's coming in with this. And again, if things are peaceful, which is odd to me right now, give it another week or 2 and I think the upheaval is coming. And again, I hate to like make it sound that way, right? But it's there. You've got this fire energy kind of brooding under the surface with this change. Things are changing. Some of you are going to embrace this change, take it for what it is, and move on from any disappointments and loss. But I also feel like, I would say in regards to love, and not just love though, anything that affects your foundations, you're realizing, or someone else you're dealing with is realizing that, like, there's more to this, again, than meets the eye. Something here, it's like when it comes down to it, somebody is not taking action on a promise, a word, why they got involved in something to begin with. I can't help but feel that there's an underlying level of deception to a particular situation here, Libra. There's too much moon energy, you know, and this could be fear that somebody is going to walk away from a situation, that maybe something that has been extremely consistent in your life. There's a fear surrounding that. And, you know, when we look at that Magician, he's hanging on to that pentacle. That is stability. That was the beginnings of the stability, what he was manifesting for his stability. And then the moon energy is like, okay, you know, there's something here. There's, whether it's subconsciously or what, you know, whatever it might be, that is shifting. I feel like there are situations in your life right now, Libra, that could go one of 2 ways. You know, 9 of Cups energy coming out, the Devil coming out again sideways. Something here is going to be released in regards to the Pentacles. If there have been constraints around finances, struggles in love, the reasons that people are attached to other people, if it has to do with the finances, Somebody is seeing a truth here. And the star energy, I do like this for you. But look at that. There's the moon again. Spirit is saying great change equals great reward with this energy. Again, I said about sitting, right? It's just that stillness. That Nine of Cups is he's content in the moment. But the thing of it is, his ass is going to go numb from sitting on that bench for so long. His arms are crossed. He is folded. And, you know, I'm seeing him a little more in the negative connotation because we've got the devil beside him coming out sideways. Those bonds, those patterns, those habits, the things that have not served us are attached. It could be a very stubborn way of doing things. You could be attached to an earth sign, but there's a truth here. There's that Knight of Wands. It's the idea of somebody coming in to rush in to save a situation that was once happy. It's like somebody has grown bored after a time of celebration with something. It's like all of your cups got dumped into something. 21:12 on the clock. But there are external situations that are going to reign supreme with some kind of truth before long. And the Queen of Wands here is intuitive. She's beautiful. She's assertive. And this could be somebody that you're dealing with, Libra. I don't feel like this is you. You're more of that Nine of Cups energy right now. But someone is also seeing through the truth, you know, to the truth. That Ace of Swords, that Queen of Wands. But right now the moon is hanging over. It's looming over. I feel like these truths are going to really start to emerge after this full moon. Libra, Knight of Cups. I'm feeling like that's you. Seven of Pentacles, where you've made your investments, your time, your resources, your energy, your efforts. Are they living up to the investment that you initially made? What is this Nine of Cups about? The Devil coming out with the Nine of Cups. You've got the Devil here 3 times over. Patterns, habits, routines, mind constraints, addictions. There could be even the Devil with the Nine of Cups. Alcoholism. Are you drinking a lot? Like, watch your intake. What are you taking in? But there's a temptation in this. 5 of Pentacles twice. Libra, I'm telling you, as hard as I don't know that I've ever had a reading this subtly quiet without giving me specific detailed information. But when I'm looking at that moon coming out 3 times, that Devil has come out 3 times, and now I've got the 5 of Pentacles here twice, and you've got patience and justice, consistency. 9 of Wands, fire energy sitting there. Something is on the verge of just popping the fuck off. Like, wherever there's been lack, worry about how you're going to move forward and be successful in the things that you're doing. Scorpio energy, Death card, something is coming to an end. Heavy, heavy on the Earth energy. The Devil. 7 of Pentacles coming out again, sideways there. Again, that look at the investment. You could be dealing with a situation here. The Judgment card coming out sideways. Choices. It's like something or somebody has got to make a decision here about multiple areas of your life, Libra. You could feel like everything again is still, but yet something yet majorly is coming in. Like it's coming. I think that you can feel it. I think that you know it. For some of you, this is going to, you get to kind of decide. You get to choose what direction. I feel like this is a split in Libra's energy that you're going to see certain Libras rise up to the challenge and the occasion to make change for success. Others, maybe not so much. What is this Queen of Wands for Libra? 3 of Pentacles. Again, outside situations, those 3 moons, those 3 devils. 3 working situations. There are 3 situations you're trying to work through where you've got different groups of people and dynamics. Hierophant. I know it's not the Justice card, but I'm hearing law and order from Spirit. It's a spiritual reordering of situations, systems, anything that has not been exactly what it's needed to be. it's such a mixed bag of energy, Libra. Like, I would love next week to do a video just for you. Well, you have your March reading coming up soon anyhow, but 8 of Pentacles. You know, this is working, research, and investigating. 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups, the Hermit. For some of you, you could be, it's kind of like somebody here is playing with an energy. Going, dare I give Libra this opportunity? Dare I open my you know, the door to whatever this is? I would say to you, Libra, that if you have done the right things in the past, you're going to be fine moving forward. If you have not done that inner work on yourself, there may be cause for concern here. I'm not going to bullshit you. But the energy here is like, it's like good days, bad days. Good moments, bad moments. I hope that's making sense for you. For Libra, please, advice. Choice. Again, I really do feel like this is an energy split here of changing the mindset. Some of you are going to do that. Others of you may not, and I kind of feel like there's a lot of crossroads energy when it comes to what you do with the losses, the pain, and I'm going to tell you that I've seen that for Taurus and Scorpio. You know, you have the ability to reconnect, you know, right the wrongs, fix things, detach from holding on to a desired outcome of a situation. And part of this stillness could be you learning to detach yourself. Make sure you're not numbing. Make sure you're doing it in healthy ways. Miracles can occur. And it's like getting into this attitude of gratitude to pay attention to the good things. It's changing your perspective on the way you view life and your partnerships, the people that you work with. But I will tell you, Libra, there is an energy here that says the divine feminine, which we have that High Priestess of Fire, the Queen of Wands, showing itself twice as well. All 3 scenarios of change, there is a divine feminine leading the way that says this is the way that it's going to be. Part of this I also feel is like that energy outside of you, it's going to make some kind of judgment call. That's going to dictate how this unfolds in the near future. Spirit's saying 2 weeks out. So be very mindful of that. That's a really long reading for a weekly, but it's a very different energy here, Libra, that I've seen you got. I haven't seen you in this. But something is coming to the surface here before long, and I think eclipse season is going to be that's split. And again, I've seen that with Taurus and Scorpio during their eclipse seasons, where it's like, which direction were they going to go? Are they going to change the way they work with one another or work with other people? Getting a different perspective on things, adjusting attitudes, belief systems, structures for their higher good. And that's kind of where I feel like you are right now, Libra. Be aware of that. All right. All right, Scorpio. Holy moly, that was long. All right. All right, Scorpio. Excuse me. Scorps, I hope you're doing well and fantastic. What is going on for Scorpio, March 18th through the 24th? For Scorpio, please, Spirit. For Scorpio. Self-trust. Just seen that. I seen that for Gemini. Seen that a little bit for Libra. It was in underlying on the split. And then Scorpio, self-trust. Confidence. Scorpio, I think you're facing a little bit of challenge here. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a very focused energy. And I kind of feel like you're in a space right now of detaching yourself from other situations. I feel like there's a possibility here where you're just like hearing Adele set fire to the rain. And Scorpio, it's like you're going to leave behind a lot of things. There's this, I just said it for Libra, attitude of gratitude, right? Like, you're grateful for the transformational changes that are happening for you. There's some big energy coming into play. I just shuffled these cards and some things are coming out about the same. It's kind of wild. There's a lot around this self-trust where you're relying on yourself and not putting faith out there and into other people. It's not so much that you don't have faith in other things that are happening around you, but it's like, I think you're having these moments of clarity, and they're coming in short, Spirit is saying. So it's kind of like you could have this one moment where you're like, oh, this makes sense to me now. Oh, this makes sense to me now. And as these, you know, call them light bulb moments for lack of better words, are happening, where you're putting the pieces together, you're seeing it. It's also a matter of learning to truly dive into and hear your higher guidance. Like learning to trust your own ability to make sound decisions and walk fully in that direction without having any concern whether or not it's going to work out, because you know you're being divinely guided. Like there's a voicing in this too, Scorps, where you're saying what needs to be said without even saying it. And for, as I say that to you now, I feel like that's come up recently for you. Like you may not have to say anything. And I feel like there are a lot of people, and I've said this before, cycles, something's closing, message, some information is going to be coming in, Scorpio. High Priestess of Spirit, you are divinely protected. Where you don't have to say, it's like people are sitting back watching you and observing you doing these things, whether this is work, love, boundaries, family, whatever this is. There's like spectators to your life. And there is, it's almost like they're afraid. They sit back in awe and wonderment of going, how are you doing this? And you've got your back turned. You could be turning your back on a lot of things right now too. This incoming message with this cycle is going to close something out for you. I feel like, Scorpio, you could be, this is interesting. The energies are weird today. You doing nothing, or I say you saying nothing could be the one thing that delivers the strongest message. Like, you're not playing by societal rules. Your construct around how you work through things is significantly shifting right now. You're not relying on the word of anybody. You are trusting in yourself to know what the next right thing is for you. I think there are a few situations around you, Scorpio, where in the past you would have played by the rules. You would have balanced everything out or juggled everything for the sake of somebody else's benefit rather than your own, some self-sacrifice in that, right? Your message to the world, your message to yourself, the messages that could be coming in from Spirit for you says no more. This is also other people going, you need to follow these guidelines. Scorpio, you're like, fuck you. I'm closing this particular portion of my life out. This 9 with this message is the ending of something, and then 10 cycles, starting something new for yourself. And I think that it's funny, 9, 10, and 11 sits here, and 3, which is, you know, all things around you to me. And then you've got 12, endings, beginnings, conclusions, forbidden. You're drawing the line in the sand, and I feel the strength behind that. There's a confidence within you that, again, you may not so much be speaking on, that your actions are speaking louder than your words. And I said it, what, 2 months ago, back in January, was it January, I think? Or maybe it was February. That your silence spoke volumes. Scorpio, I feel like when you were in a period of silence, you did what you needed to do in that. And now I kind of feel like maybe you've come out and you've played a little bit, you've engaged with some energies around you, and now it's going back in, like you went into that hermit mode the end of the year of 2023. You did some self-reflecting, some inner work, sat with what your spirit and your guides were bringing into you, came back out to play with the world just enough to have these experiences. And now it's like you could be feeling the need to retreat because you've got a lot of information coming in to you at once. And now it's discerning it, but also I feel your biggest message is by your actions and not your words. Like, you may have done so much talking, and I'm going to be honest with you, it feels like the talking that was done may have started off in a very purposeful way for you. That's where your intention was set. And then you kind of seen it, I don't want to say spiraling, but to be a part of whatever this was there was some type of conforming that was going to be required of you. And it's like, fuck no, I am just going to go back into my shell. I'm going to go back and do things the way that I do them. And I'm going to rely on my sense of self again. And it's trusting yourself to know when it's time to make an exit, when it's time to stay. And I do feel like there's a detachment that you are being guided to do. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces energy. Doesn't have to be. I was kind of picking that up over here. And then the Queen of Cups and the World card. Scorpio, as much as I read that Queen of Cups is Cancer, Pisces energy, that is definitely you right here. Because, again, this is not about what you're saying. It's about what you're nurturing and what you've nurtured in the past. And you're closing out a cycle here. Again, the World card and the Cycles card. What lies underneath that is the Ace of Wands. It is a new passionate beginning for you. And then you've got this Queen of Swords and Two of Cups. Introspection with the Hermit. She has a lot to say. But I also feel like her commanding presence of that hand says, this is what I'm doing. She may not have to say it. I do feel like somebody around you, Scorpio, could feel like they're not up to par where you are. They're not where you are at. And I'm going to tell you, if you've made some kind of offer to somebody or something, it's a retraction of that. Like, there is, whatever this, I'm going to call this a 4-week cycle. 3-4 weeks. Again, you went out, you played, you saw, you conquered. Going back in, pay attention to your thoughts, Scorpio, because I do feel like you're in a bit of a mental energy here trying to tame those thoughts. You could have been dealing with an Aries, Sag, Leo as well. Spirit is also calling that person that you're dealing with a bit of an aggressor. I don't feel like they're aggressive. I feel like if you walk away, they might, you know, I'm going to say chase you down, not in like a crazy person sense, right? But just in a sense of, well, hey, what about me? Scorpio, whatever kind of offer you've recently made to somebody, there's a retraction of that. You don't feel like you're getting anything back in return for any kind of investment that you're making if you conform to a certain way and it feels like an old pattern or routine or behavior. The message is clear to you that this is not for you. It doesn't sit right with your soul. You're going back again to that sense of self that says, what about me? You know, if you were a giver in the past and you just gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, I feel like your intuition at some point here started to peak and say, hey, you know, is this quite right? It's kind of like this juggling act that I'm getting with Two of Pentacles kind of energy of do I, don't I, do I, don't I, dare I? You're not. You're nurturing yourself. And I'm going to tell you that for a lot of you, you've sucked at that over the years. With all due love and respect, Scorpio, you've sucked at giving to yourself. You've been very good about nurturing everybody else's needs. And I don't feel like you're fitting back into that box. You know, it's, you got to play by these rules, Scorpio. You've got to do X, Y, and Z for me. I need you to be here. I need you to do this. And it's just like, no. That Queen of Cups is also self-care, self-love. Spirit is saying self-actualization. Queen of Swords, Scorpio, I see you guys come out in that energy. And I do feel like, and then you've got the King of Swords at the bottom. I do feel like you're embodying both of these energies. You know, that's the second time we're seeing that Queen of Swords in 2 decks. You're saving your emotions for yourself. You're not giving those out for free today, like, or tomorrow, or the next day, or in any other cycles moving forward. Like, you've got a very firm grasp on, this cup of mine is protected. This cup of mine runs so deep within me that if you're going to exchange energy with me, you've got to come in with more than a dry behavior. You know, that King of Swords is very thought-oriented, very analytical, very strategic. And Scorpio, I feel like you're meeting somebody in that mind space. The difference is they can't emotionally manipulate you. You're also, for some of you, you could be feeling like you're standing outside of yourself, and you're, you know, I've said to people when it comes to shadow work in the past too, sit down in a mirror and look yourself in the eye. Have a conversation with yourself. You know, we look at all these other people in our lives, whether it's work, our kids, our family, friends, whatever, and we see them as a whole human being of their own. And we respect that. And we want to know how their day was, if they're hungry, what's new, how's work, you know, whatever. But do we ever take a moment to look ourselves in the eye in that bathroom mirror when we're getting, you know, ourselves together for the day and go, hey, Joe, how are you today? Hey, Nicole, how are you today? All of a sudden, Scorpio, you're looking at yourself with a sense of compassion and saying it's okay to protect you. It's okay to love you. It's okay to give that love that you've given so freely to everybody else, to yourself. And being unapologetic about it. That Queen of Swords is not offering up apologies. She's very direct and to the point of this is how it is. And I think too, if you're dealing with people when it comes to your emotions, you're being very direct on what it is that you want. Again, for some of you, it could be a little passive aggressive, not gonna lie. But it's small conversation. The Queen of Swords doesn't have to read a fucking paragraph to get her point across. She's straight to the point. And I think there are little things that you are saying or doing in regards to your emotions that is delivering that message loud and clear. That this is the way that this is going to be. This is where I stand firm in my boundaries. My heart space is not up to be tossed around like a ping pong ball. You're closing a massive cycle here when it comes to your emotional intelligence, Scorpio. And you're being victorious in this. Your focus is the 10 of Pentacles and leaving behind the 5. You have picked a direction for yourself. You are letting down the burdens. You are moving into something that is equal and reciprocal. You could, in the future, Scorpio, be dealing with somebody who has come from next to nothing or come from the same type of struggles that you've dealt with. Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. They have felt your struggles. Like, you're bringing 5 Pentacles in and not in a lonely sense. And I feel like they're bringing their 5 in and there's a complete exchange. You know, these two passing energies are like, hey, I've been there. And there's something between the two of you that is bridging a gap that says, hey, here's the person I desire to be, the legacy I want to leave behind, all of the beauty that comes in with me and my struggles, that my scars are beautiful to me. Right? I think that's a song, something like that, right? I'm not positive. And this person wears those well-seasoned scars as well. They say, I get you, I understand, I've been there too. There could be some very comfortable conversations with someone For other people, they may not understand that. You know, it's kind of like spending a lifetime trying to translate your soul kind of thing. Seven of Pentacles. There's a fear of an investment here, Scorps, because you've watched shit go south so many times before. And I think you know, if you've recently played, I said that 3-4 weeks, if you've recently tried to invest in something with somebody or something like that, the growth wasn't about you and them or a group effort, we'll call it. This was more about you understanding what is worthy of you planting those seeds with. What is worth the investment to you. And you could feel, for some of you, like you gave those pentacles or those seeds or that stability to somebody that wasn't quite deserving of that. But this could also be this person who says, you know, Scorpio, I want you to conform to my way. That Page of Pentacles in the reverse, retraction of offer. Hangman, the Magician. You're, again, realizing, Four of Swords, there's a healing here that's happening when it comes to past betrayal and learning how to move on from that and into something that is much more emotionally fulfilling. And P.S., the Ace of Cups here, which is yet another card of self-care, love, nurturing, right? You're learning, Scorpio. This is a part of your transformation. Learning what, look at this, learning what is deserving of your love and supporting that. Having people around you that support that space of self-love, self-care, nourishment, and who you are giving that to. Massive learning process for you. And I'm going to say, it may not feel super heavy like you're so used to dealing with, because you're in a place of acceptance of these changes. You're accepting it exactly for what it is. There's no need to fight and struggle and strife. Like, you might be in your head, you might be overthinking it a little bit. So just make sure you're staying out of that space. Look at the Six of Swords, moving on. King of Pentacles. Again, who is going to return? You are that King of Pentacles, Scorpio. And I feel like if somebody was coming, King of Wands again, Leo, Sag, Aries there. If you had somebody who was looking at you for those reasons, some kind of sense of stability within you, because you gave it to them at one point. There's that Page of Pentacles in the upright. You gave them that. You could be taking that back and going, you know, it's like dating somebody and realizing like they've got some slimy motives to them. You're taking back what you started to give, and, you know, call you whatever they want to, for being that way. But I think you maybe hung on to this a little bit longer than you should have, but that's okay. And I still feel like there's something from the past, Scorpio, that your actions, again, are speaking louder than words ever could, because I don't think if you said what you needed to say, it would have fallen on deaf ears. It's like they wouldn't have believed you anyhow. So it's a change from the pace in which you've worked before. And it's like, okay, if you don't believe me, watch me. Talking about that there's 2 5s, right? Making that 10 of Pentacles, that lifetime legacy, building a, you know, your own mansion, your own fortress, your own whatever. Receive. Reaching out to somebody who is not only going to, you know, take from you, but they're going to also give back to you, that receiving protection. And you're protecting that. If I'm going to give that away, it's going to be in a space where somebody is fully grateful for everything that I'm giving and bringing to the table, because they're going to meet me halfway. And I don't think that this matters if this is love, work, friendships, your cat. It doesn't matter. Scorpio, it's not going to be long. You're going to have a great reason to celebrate, and you're going to step back and take a look, and you're finally going to start to speak some serious truths, because you're creating, yet again, Scorpio, you are creating something new from this strife that comes in with your emotions and not being heard. Again, if you're not going to listen to me, it's going to fall on deaf ears, then guess what? I'm just going to show you how it's done. And Scorpio, you are. You're going to go through this period, I think, of trying to sift through the mental process. It's like, Scorpio mind, we have to understand why, right? We have to really dive in and understand every little nook and cranny, and I think that's where you're going to go. I don't think it's necessary, Scorpio, because I think that the healing, it's not about the people around you or the situations as much as it is about the learning process specifically for you. Your own personal growth is the main focus, or should be. But you're also trying to understand the complicated patterns for yourself so that you don't reinvest into something like that. Again, you could have been dealing with an Aries. What is their motivation? Is it a power struggle with something? Okay, so just be mindful of that. Scorpio, you're getting ready to step into something beautifully abundant. Take the time that you need for yourself, because it's going to pay off in the long run. All right, Saggy. 5037. All right, Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on with you guys. March 14th through the 24th. 18th through the 24th. Sag, the 28th of this month, which ends up being the full moon, could be a very important day for you. I think that's a Monday. Is that next Monday, I think? All right, for Sag this week, Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to know this week? Thursday and then the 28th. There's something around a Thursday. You could be taking a long weekend off of work. Sag, I'm hearing next of kin. 5 is a change. 44, 8. Cycles, completions, endings, things coming back around. I'm hearing being a little bit disgruntled. You could kind of feel like you're not quite on your A game right now, Saggy. Let's see. Sagittarius this week, Spirit. Freedom. Started to come out sideways. Distraction and guidance again. I feel like you're seeking some freedom here. There's been some constraints. I think you're trying to listen to your inner voice, your higher voice. I feel like you're trying to escape something. But I will say this to you. I think that your underlying emotions this week, Sag, are... Spirit is saying there's a ripple effect. Okay, so pay attention to who you're around that's making you feel uncomfortable, uneasy, and why. It's like somebody's saying to you, yes, you can, and you're saying, no, I can't. And these emotions are like, I don't want to go there. They're there. They're a little rocky, a little rough. I think you're trying to find some kind of peace. 444 could be important. 22 could be important. 44 could be important. Hopscotch of all things. And what makes me like, what I think about that when I see that, such a random thing, right? You jump up on one foot, right? So you've got that position of just trying to balance yourself, and then you put those 2 feet down and you've got perfect balance. And then you're back up on one foot again, and you're back into balance again. Sag, it could feel like that for you right now. You could call it rocky. There's some high points, there's some low points. You're trying to get out of this energy. I feel like you're constantly feeling a little off. You know, you're off again, on again, off again, on again. You could be dealing with a relationship like this. This could be work related, where it's like, you know, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay, then now wait again. It's like a start and go, a start and stop kind of energy that comes in. And it's like you're trying to break free from that right now. Inhalation. What is that about? For Sag. Complicated eggs. Sag, it's coming out in the reverse. I don't think... Something here could finally be clearing up for you, which, good deal. I think you're starting to see yourself separate of something. I don't know that I'd call this detachment necessarily. You've got deceit, 11, 11. You got 3 11s and 5. Heavy on the 11s, heavy on the 2s, and heavy on the 4s. Sag, something's getting ready to shift. Big surprise, right? Big surprise. And I think I said this to you before. You could feel like somebody was using, abusing, manipulating, lying to you. I feel like there is a freedom from an on again, off again situation that's coming. There is some kind of clarity. That moon energy is so super heavy. And I said the 28th, that's the full moon. There is some kind of clarity that's coming in with this. Guidance, freedom, getting away from the things that are on again, off again, whether it's work. There's just this feeling of so sick of inconsistencies. So sick of not having the stability. It's like, are we here today, gone tomorrow? Like, there's something around that energy. And the Spirit is saying good luck to you. You know, it's like, you know, some of you could be Irish. There's Irish blessings, things like that they're talking about as well. We just had St. Patty's Day. Somebody could be blessing you. Somebody could be praying for you, which is crazy because I never get anything like that. But you're on the verge here of putting down some burdens. It's coming. I don't know if this is like an awareness. There's that damn moon again. You and Libra both. A lot of moon energy. I'm telling you, the full moon, whatever has felt divided or, again, unstable, unsteady, there could be information coming out of the woodwork for you as well. Your subconscious fears, too. This is about direction and purpose in your life, Sag. I feel like you're going to gain clarity. What is not seen right now is coming to the surface. As I say that, 8 of Wands, that's communication. That's delivery of messages. That is fast. Once it starts going, it doesn't stop. Sag, you are pushing through some situation here after an exit, potentially by a Taurus, Scorpio. This could even happen in Taurus season, or something around Taurus season could have been important. Where there's some type of victory and success, or you could be wanting some kind of victory and success with a Taurus or a Scorpio. But it's like whoever is making prominent movement, there could be a little bit of jealousy, a hint of jealousy in that. The Tower, the Devil underneath, something is coming to deconstruct what has not been clear. Whoa. Aries energy, Scorpio energy, 6 of Pentacles. Sag, I'm going to say this to you, and I don't know why I'm getting this idea of, I mean, 8 of Wands, messages, communication, right? Incoming communication. There's an even exchange point on something. And you could have been the giver to a situation. You could be holding back. Someone else could be holding back. It's causing a truth. Okay? Strange energy. It's causing a truth. The things that have been stashed up maybe on an emotional level, things that weren't said, things that were not freely being exchanged or given, anything that was stifled, anything that was not addressed. This Tower is like, here is the release of everything that I have within me. If you've not talked about your emotions, if you've held them back, you know, out of fear, worry, there you are, King of Wands. You've held back what you've needed to say. Someone else has held back what they needed to say. this Six of Pentacles is like, let's clear the air. This Tower with that is, let's clear the air. Let's get back down to the very basics of a particular situation and figure this the fuck out, because I'm not doing this anymore. It's profound, Saggy. And I'm going to say to you that I do feel like this happens without aggression. It seems pretty calm. However, there's going to be a release of massive emotions in this. This is an eye-opener for sure. And I feel like at that point, you feel like you can start to breathe again. Page of Cups. I think somebody has waited on you for a long time, or vice versa, to put in some kind of work. This idea of structural foundations, that Pisces energy of the Page of Cups, the Hierophant, structures, belief systems, traditions. It's all been an illusion. Some of you could be, especially the Divine Masculine, could really be going through this awakening and illumination that it can't be under those circumstances anymore. It can't be under those terms and conditions. It's like voiding a contract. It cannot happen that way. And if you had this idea or this vision that this was the way that it was going to be, there was a subconscious fear attached that you had to do or give in a certain way that you were taught to believe had to happen. And that was the only way. Like, there's something about this surrender of this system. And again, I don't feel like it was ever fair. Somebody could have been trying to balance out with you, Sag, and make it fair and equitable. And you may not have been willing to see it, or vice versa. And now all of a sudden, it's like I'm realizing that vision that I had, or the vision that someone else had, something here, some part of this was very skewed in the system or the belief or the idea of something. The other side was like, dare to dream about something else that might work differently and appropriately. Go back to that hopscotch. 1 foot, 2 feet. 1 foot, 2 feet. Do it on my own. Do it together. Be a little weebly wobbly. Be firm in foundations. It's the way these messages are coming in are like foreign to me. It's weird. 8 of Wands. What is this for Sag? Oh, and they're telling me to get one more here on this 8 of Pentacles and Page of Cups. This is Page of Cups for Sagittarius. Virgo energy, the Hermit. It's what I mean. It's like, this is that space of diving deep, Sag. You have learned, someone else has learned something here. That it never had to be as complicated as it was. It never had to be as difficult as it was. This is a soul growth lesson, and I think that you're dealing with somebody who has taught you that you know, I just said to Scorpio about self-sacrifice. You could have been dealing with a Scorpio who's teaching you what it is to not self-sacrifice. You know, it doesn't have to be, this Page of Cups is just, it fantasizes. That there is only one way of doing things, right? It's like, he can dream of pigs flying, so it must be. That's the only way he sees this happening, right? It can be a very lovely energy, but it's also, can you bring it down to reality, and does it actually work? So whatever that belief system, I've got so much Hierophant energy, even though it's not here. Did that belief system leave you in the lack? You know, you've got the key to remove yourself from that way of being. Some of you could be getting a job offer as well. As I say that, the Wheel of Fortune comes out. This is a positive forward direction. This is a positive turn of fated events. Leaving behind the confusion and breaking free, Sag. Look at So Scorpio, there they are, and twice, the Wheel of Fortune. Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius also. Gemini energy, too. Page of Wands, the Seven of Cups. Piscean energy to me. Page of Wands. Listen, this freedom is going to allow you to step into something far more stable for yourself. Both of her feet are planted on the ground. She's ready to step into a new light, a new way of life, to be victorious and successful, attached to foundations. That 4/11/11 also. The Hangman, the perspective, releasing the idea, the Moon, the Judgment, Chariot, the High Priestess. Sag, you've got some major lessons here that are playing out for you. Realizing that the train of thought is what they're saying. The train of the fear or the way you were taught is, it's like you're finally getting out of the stubborn energy that says, maybe there is another way. I feel like someone has kind of like strong-armed you into a situation. And not in a bad way. When I say strong-armed you, like, you could have met your match when it comes to somebody who's stubborn. You know, maybe it is a fixed sign with this Wheel of Fortune. Who, they weren't going to change their viewpoint on something because they had tried it. They had done it. They had been through the tower. Where for you, you were still hanging on to the struggle or the hard way of doing things. You know, it's like work smarter, not harder. Spirit just said, did you apply that work smarter, not harder to all areas of life? Especially when it came to finances and your cups. I think in some areas of life, Sag, you were, but in other areas you were not. You're realizing that someone has been so patient with you, and I feel like now you're learning to be a little more patient with yourself when you're trying to reconcile things between the heart and the head space. Detach. You're working on it, Sag, and I'm happy to see this for you, because this detachment process is not always the easiest, especially when we have an old way of doing things. We have to really work through to kind of like retrain our brain and our mindset and our hearts and all of these things, right? But I think that when either you or someone else took a step back from a situation, that started to show something. The way you would typically envision things, you started to see it differently. You know, it was actually watching something happen that you didn't think could happen. And that starts to shift the mindset. Surrender, coming out in the reverse, and pivot. It's not that you have to let go. You have to change the way that you move throughout situations, the way you view situations. I mean, the second you do surrender, and the advice is like that may have been the point too, Sag, where you were struggling with that surrender. Surrendering to the idea or belief system of somebody else. You know, maybe they had a very valid point. Maybe you had a very valid point too. It isn't just the other side here. But I also feel like you're watching somebody else walk around in this sense of freedom. And that's a little confusing to you. Allow this change to happen. When we don't go with the flow of life, we block ourselves. So check in with that, Sag. This is a very pivotal moment for you. Spirit just said very life-changing moment for you. This is spiritual awakening. It really is. Your freedom is on the other side of this. Kick up your heels and go with it. All right? Sag, I'm going to leave it here. These messages today are something else. They're very, very different than the norm. If you guys found that this helps you, like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are open and available. This information can be found in the description box below the About section of the page. I think I'm caught up on emails. If not, and I've not responded, please do not hesitate to reach out a second time and go, hey, you might have missed me or looked over me, just in case. I don't want to miss anybody. So thank you all for your love and support, for booking personal reads. I do have a few slots open this week. I'm sending you all love and light. I will see you soon. Take care.